Around the World in 80 Days begins at the Reform Club with Phileas Fogg, Thomas Flanagan, Samuel Valentin, and John Sullivan. Sitting by a fireplace reading newspapers, Passepartout, who is seeking employment, enters and Fogg begins to interview him for the position of servant. Passepartout is hired and is expected to begin work immediately. At the Reform Club, Fogg, Flanagan, Valentin and Sullivan are talking about a recent bank robbery. This conversation leads to a wager. Fogg is quite sure he can travel around the world in 80 days, while Sullivan doesn't believe it can be done. Sullivan, Flanagan, and Valentin think Fogg is not considering the unexpected. All of the men accept the wager for £20,000. Fogg is to get on the train and start his expedition at 8:45 p.m. that evening. Is polishing shoes and wondering where Fogg got his money. Fogg surprises Passepartout, tells him to get ready for they are leaving to go around the world. Fogg tells Passepartout to pack only a few things. Everything else will be bought on the trip. Fogg gives Passepartout a carpet bag filled with £20,000. Fogg and Passepartout arrive at the Charing Cross station to get on the train. Passepartout is responsible for reserving a compartment. Fogg gives a short speech about being charitable, and then he gives a baker 20 guineas. Within a few days, all of London knows about Fogg's adventure. The public talks about the voyage, and the press prints stories about an Englishman attempting to travel around the world in 80 days. The first stop is the Suez Harbor. Detective Fix and Consul are waiting for the arrival of Mongolia, the name of the ship. Fix is looking for the bank robber who took £20,000 from the Bank of England. The ship docks and Passepartout disembarks and talks to Fix. Fix begins to ask Passepartout about his master. Passepartout tells Fix that Fogg is wealthy and they are going around the world on a bet. Fix decides that Fogg is the bank robber and he sends a telegram to the police commissioner. In the meantime, Fix is trying to convince the consul not to stamp their passports because he believes that Fogg is a criminal. Fogg rents an elephant and gets his passport stamped. Fogg and Passepartout are on their way to Bombay. The elephant stops in the middle of the jungle, but Fogg and Passepartout still manage to arrive in Bombay 2 days earlier than expected. Passepartout wants to use the time to rest. Fogg insists they continue going. The 2 extra days should be saved. On the train to Kolkata, a conductor enters and tells Fogg that the tracks have ended. Fogg must continue on foot to the Allahabad station. Fogg meets the elephant owner again and offers to purchase the elephant. Fogg discovers that he has 12 extra hours, and he dedicates those hours to rescuing a widow, Mrs. Uda. Everyone hops on the elephant, and they ride to the Allahabad station where they catch the train to Kolkata. Fix is waiting at the Kolkata train station. He calls a policeman to arrest Fogg. During the trial, Passepartout is found guilty of desecrating the pagoda of Malabar Hill and sentenced to 15 days imprisonment. The judge thinks Fogg should be sentenced for being Passepartout's master. Fogg offers to pay bail and they leave. Due to a storm, the ship to Hong Kong is anticipated to arrive 20 hours late. On deck of the ship, Mrs. Uda questions Passepartout about Fogg. They get to Hong Kong 24 hours late, and Fix is there waiting, while on his way to tell Fogg that the steamer to San Francisco has been delayed, so they don't have to wait a week for the next one. Passepartout meets a Chinese man who gives him opium. Passepartout is carried on to the SS General Grant by 2 police officers, and Fogg is never told about the steamer. The steamer leaves without Fogg. John Bunsby agrees for a large sum of money to take Fogg and Mrs. Uda to San Francisco via Yokohama. Fogg offers Fix £200 to assist on the boat. Meanwhile, Passepartout wakes up on the SS General Grant and realizes that he left without Fogg and Mrs. Uda. A few miles from Yokohama, the SS General Grant lowers a ladder for Fogg, Mrs. Uda and Fix. Passepartout attacks Fix for setting him up and makes Fogg miss the boat to San Francisco. Fix explains to Passepartout that he is a detective and he believes that Fogg is a criminal. Passepartout agrees not to tell Fogg about detective. On the way to New York, the train is attacked by Indians. Fogg, Mrs. Uda, Fix, and Passepartout arrive in New York in the handcar. Fogg notices a ship getting ready to leave. He goes over to the captain and asks him to take them to Liverpool. Captain Andrew Speedy says that the SS Purita is going to Bordeaux, and Fogg offers to pay him to take them. Fogg bribes the ship's crew with £300 to take him to Liverpool. The captain still refuses, so his crew locks him in his cabin. They arrive in Liverpool and Fix arrests Fogg. Fogg misses his train to London, but a hot air balloon takes Fogg. Passepartout and Mrs. Uda to London 24 hours ahead of schedule. Fogg wins his wager and gains a wife, Mrs. Uda.